What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are finally heading over to Gad Tuning to get the C43 Stage 2 tuned. I cannot wait to see what sort of power we get out of this car. Anyway, let's get on the road, shall we? What's going on, guys? We're here at Gad Tuning and we're finally getting the C43 Stage 2 tuned. Hello, Anthony.
Hello, mate. How we doing?
Right, we're going to give it the run before we tune the car, so we're going to see what the car's producing already. At the minute, the C43 is producing over 600 newton meters of torque and about 400 brake horsepower, which isn't normal.
No.
So,
Especially on our dyno. So I had a facelift C43 in on Saturday, and stock it produced 383 horsepower, which they're booked at 385. People think they're 390. They're not. They're 390 PS,
right, okay.
which is 385 horsepower. So it was only a couple of horsepower out, and it pulled like 550 newton meters. This has just pulled 630 newton meters. So this is definitely, I'd say this is definitely tuned.
So the car's definitely already had a stage 1
Yeah.
tune before I bought the car. So, which isn't a bad thing, but Anthony's going to sort that out anyway.
We'll sort that out. You think we've got to turn cat efficiency, all that sort of stuff's got to be turned off anyway. I'd expect to see more horsepower than that.
Right.
The 43 I did the other day did over 430 horsepower, stage 1, and that didn't have intake on it, that didn't have downpipes on it. It was a completely bone stock car. Actually, not far off. I think only about 3,000 miles less than this one. So we're talking pretty apples to apples.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so obviously we're going to pull the ECU. We'll see what's been done, what needs fixing, the stuff we need to do on top anyway. But yeah, I'm expecting a lot more. Right, so the dyno, this little unit, see this little unit here? That is a little weather station. Oh, mine, that's my customer Gary. That is a little weather station. So basically the weather station always keeps the dyno honest. So if the weather conditions are really, really good, it penalizes you, it brings your numbers down. If the conditions say it's like 35 degrees, height of summer, it will bump your numbers up. So it just basically keeps everything on a level playing field. But what it actually does at the bottom is it shows you the uncorrected values. So although here it's showing 402, it's saying, well, you should be making good power because the conditions are brilliant.
Right.
What it then shows you is the uncorrected. So it says 402 horsepower here, but uncorrected, look, it was 420 horsepower.
Okay, now.
So it's definitely tuned.
Nice.
And look, 656 newton meters of torque.
Nice.
Definitely tuned.
So this is the stage 1 that Anthony did the other day. No downpipes, no intake, and you can see that it pulled 677 newton meters of torque. And
Stage 1.
Stage 1 and 430 brake horsepower. So it's quite a lot considering this is like stage 2.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling this is going to pull what, nearly 700 possibly?
It's going to do, yeah, it's got to, isn't it? It's got to do 700 newton meters.
So it's definitely going to be a C63 killer at some point. There you go.
And you've got all the all-wheel drive. So you imagine 700 newton meters with grip.
Fucking hell. Watch out, C63s. So Anthony has now took the ECU into the office to tune it. Can't obviously film this bit because it's their calibration, it's their tune, but We'll be back shortly and you'll be able to see just how much power the C43 is going to make. Already this car is fast because it's obviously had a stage 1 tune, so as we said in the previous, it's already producing 600 newton meters of torque, which is fucking insane. Really hoping we get this up to about 700 and then it's going to be a C63 killer, because you can just imagine the power this car's going to put down being an all-wheel drive. See you guys soon.
Horsepower and 45 newton meters of torque. Look how strong it is now. That was your torque before.
Yeah.
Doing weird stuff. And now look.
It's a lot better, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the C43 didn't quite make the numbers that I was really hoping for in the last video. We managed to get the newton meters of torque from 630 up to nearly 675, and the brake horsepower has gone from now 402 to about 450-ish. Not massive jumps, but will make a massive difference in the car on the road. It will drive different and it is going to be a lot faster. But you guys are going to find out shortly anyway when we test drive the vehicle. What is going on, guys? So we've got the car back from Gad Tuning. We're going to give it a test drive, some outside videos so you can hear the pops, bangs, sounds. Going to give you a review on the speed, see if there's any difference, and see if we like the stage 2. Let's get going, shall we? It is so much louder on the cold start now. Fucking hell. See how much difference there is now in the sound. It's not, I don't know, it's not quite tingy because we haven't done a straight through pipe, but it's like a rasp, isn't it, more than anything? So throttle response is now so much more sensitive. So just that little tap sends you going, which makes things a bit difficult around town when you're driving in Sport Plus. So probably best not to be driving this in Sport Plus when poodling along around town. Definitely a lot more aggressive. Let's get out of town. We're going to get onto some long main roads and then give it a go. As Boca. It's been nice to let the old lady cross the road. Definitely such a difference when you have a stage 2. The downpipes, you can smell the fuel in the car so much more. They run so rich, it's ridiculous. Another thing I want to point out, like, that this car drinks fuel now. Like, this is not economical in the slightest. We're not going to speed around town because I really don't want to get the dirty looks anymore. I've had enough of it. Definitely a lot more aggression. Definitely a more sensitive. Definitely louder exhaust system. I'm going to talk a bit more about it like towards the end of the video, but I love it. I do love it. Don't get me wrong. I like it, but this isn't practical. Like, having a stage 2 car on the road is not practical. It's loud. it's aggressive. I am getting dirty looks. Some good, some bad, depending. I don't know. Let's. We're going to floor it, give it a try, see if we like it. We're going to drop down into second, whack it in manual mode. It's fun. There's a lot more talk and it's fun, but don't know, perhaps I'm just getting old. Like, I'm 32 now, so perhaps I'm just getting to that point where I like a nice easy ride, do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm not a big lover of the turbo spools, honestly. I've lost so much interest in the turbo sound in these cars. It is so much quicker, honestly. Honestly, the acceleration in the car now, you feel yourself jerking, whereas stock, you never got that jerk. Now I'm starting to feel that jerk, which is quite nice, to be fair. When you've got a fast car, you want to feel that initial jerk. So that was something it was lacking pre-stage 2. I love it. I do love it. My girlfriend's gonna fucking hate it. I know that much. So guys, if you've got girlfriends and they don't like fast cars, trust me, this ain't for you. Don't do it. Temperature in the car rises a lot quicker and a lot higher. I'm noticing that. So pre-stage 2, I wasn't seeing oil temperatures over 90. I'm now seeing oil temperatures of like 98, 103 when you're driving fast. Gearbox temperature seems to be sitting comfortably at 80, which ain't terrible. So it might be quite average. To be honest with you, I can't really remember. I know the engine oil temperature was lower than this though. Naturally though, obviously you've got rid of the cats, so you're gonna get a lot more heat coming out around the engine now, obviously, whereas before you wouldn't get it. People can't drive, honestly. People cannot drive. It's so much louder. Some would consider it an ASBO car, honestly. It does feel a little bit like that. I'm going to back off a little bit. We've got some empty road behind us. Dead straight roads. Doesn't seem to be a lot of people around. I must say it's wet today. It's pissing down with rain, so this isn't going to be the best review, obviously. So I don't know how good the grip's going to be. Let's give it a rolling launch, shall we? Definitely a lot faster. We're definitely noticing the difference in torque. So that difference of like, I mean, I think we were producing 620, 630 torque anyway because the car was already stage 1 mapped. But I mean now, nearly 675, we're seeing a much bigger difference. So. And gunshots firing as well. Okay, with a little bit of aggressive driving, a bit hard, we're now seeing gearbox temperatures make it up to like 89 degrees, nearly 90. Comment down below if that's normal. I mean, I'm not too sure. I'd have to look it up, and I cannot for the life of me remember the temperatures before. So Pretty sure they weren't that high though. It's another thing, if you're going to stage 2 these cars, I would highly recommend keeping up with the oil services, gearbox and engine. I like to do my gearbox oil services like every 5,000 miles, 7,000 miles. Engine, every 10. I mean, when I had my C63, I was a little bit anal about it. I did my gearbox every 5 and I did my engine every 7 as well. So it's just something to keep up with. Cars ain't going to run good on shit oil. So it has transformed the car massively. Is it worth the price tag though? I don't know. I mean, like, you've got £500 for downpipes. You've got £400 to £500 for a tune. You've got, I mean, I paid £300, but I mean, you've got £300 to 350, maybe 700 quid for an intake system. So you're bearing on £2 grand. Has it made that much of a difference on the car? Should you just go and buy a C63? I don't know. I mean, you can pick up a C43 now for like anything from like 22, depending on the year, up to about 28, 29 grand. A little bit more, bearing on 35. You'll find deals at 32. You can grab yourself a pre-face of C63. And if you want to spend the money, 45 grand for a nice facelift C63S, I suppose it all comes down to preference, doesn't it? I quite like the 4MATIC drive. I like the V6 engine. I think it's a good engine. I know it's not a hand-built engine. It is a machine-built engine, but I've got to say it's probably one of the best engines I've ever had. The M156 engine was riddled with problems. Do you know what I mean? The C63s, but then again, I don't know, they're such a lovable car, aren't they? I think it's just because of the sound that comes out of them. A naturally aspirated engine and just the way they drive. But I must say, for money, a C43 V6 4MATIC is probably worth the pennies, honestly. It's worth the money. And if you're going to stage 2 it, you're going to see a completely different beast of car. So just quickly, want to show you guys how I film my content. I use the A6700. This is from Amazon. This was about £80. I'm be honest with you, it's fucking brilliant. It attaches to your windscreen. It's a piece of piss to set up. It stabilises your footage. You don't get any issues. And I must say, it's worth the money. I'm using a 16mm Sigma 1.4 lens, and I also use the DJI Mic 2. Outside the vehicle, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, possibly. You can see I have the GoPro Hero 11 and also another mount from Amazon. This was about 25 quid, 30 quid. That's the first time I've ever used it, and I'll be honest with you, I'm quite surprised the GoPro is actually still on there. But yeah, I thought I'd just show you guys what I use, because I have been asked a couple of times how I get my angles and what sort of gear I use as well. And there you have it, guys, a full in-depth review and step-by-step on how to stage 2 your C43. Now, a couple of things I'm not really happy about after stage 2 in this car. First being the temperature in the car now just rises so quickly. Now, driving it fast and hard, you're seeing temperatures like 103, 104. I never saw temperature like in the car before, so that's something you need to keep an eye on. I don't think it's going to overheat, but if you're going to do this, you really need to keep an eye on your coolant tanks. There's two, which one is situated to the, if you're looking inside the bonnet, left-hand side of the car, and there's also another one just on the very front of the engine. Make sure they are topped up. Make sure you've got plenty of antifreeze in there. Trust me, you don't want these cars overheating. Secondly is the turbo sound. So like the MST intake system, I was a fan of it when I put it on first time round. Not so much a fan of it now. The hissing and the chugging sounds are sort of drive me a little bit mad. And if you've got a girlfriend as well who's not really into fast, loud cars, you're going to piss her off every time you put her in it. So that's just another thing that I'm a little bit iffy about now as well. Thirdly, the car has become a bit of an ASBO car. So I am quite a lover of driving around in Sports Plus, and now I find myself keeping the car in comfort or sport with the exhaust system turned off. If you're driving through town, it is just ridiculous. It's way too loud. So you're pissing everybody off that you go past. And I'm not being funny, it doesn't look like an ASBO car. So the fact that it is an ASBO car now ruins it a little bit. All in all, I would give this stage 2 an 8 out of 10. I don't think I would go back and do it again. Would I put it back to standards? Possibly. I'm considering it already. And just stick with a stage 1 map. I think that's more than fast enough. Let's be honest, where are you going to drive fast around here anymore? You can't drive fast, it's illegal. So it seems stupid. Do you know what I mean? But if you're into ASBO cars, if you're into loud exhaust systems, if you're into fast, aggressive motors, by all means, crack on and stage 2 it. But personally, for me, it's a C43, it's a V6. It sounded fine before. I don't think I'd ever do this again. But then again, that all depends on the person. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Now, join me in the next episode when we go over all of my visual mods on the car. I've done several things, i.e. steering wheel. We've got splitters on there, all sorts. So I'm going to give you an in-depth review, tell you where I've got everything from, give you all the specs, hopefully help some of you guys out, because I've had a lot of comments asking me where certain parts of the mods that I've done to this car are from. So I'll see you guys in the next episode.